Okay, so this is Warlock. This is not a short. I'm going to try to keep it within 20 minutes. I'll try, but please listen to this. So, this morning, if you're living in Montreal or have followed my channel or people that I share their information, mostly spiritual or political, one of my favorite political ones is Jasmine Lane, and I think she even met with Pierre Polier. It's not that I don't support any politics, but if I'd have to choose, obviously I try to change. Either they change their ways, just like I say with the things I'm going in this. So let's go back to why I'm. This is a critique on the reports about what happened in the metro. First of all, there's pepper spray, right? There was some kind of problem in the metro, but they don't. Nobody filmed. You know, in the metro, everybody has their phones, right? I'm trying to make these questions. Question one, the people giving testimony, somebody fainted on the floor. If that person didn't get sprayed, pepper spray, as far as I know, doesn't go from one train car to another to make people pass out. Yes, it might irritate quite a bit, especially if you're sensitive like me, right? Which brings me to another point. Why did this happen the day before, when a lot of people are going to be getting their check for many reasons, pensions, blah, 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 which is on the 1st. May I think pensions is on the 28th or some pension. I don't know. It's not important whether you're on pension or, whatever, any kind of assistance check. Or the point is, the 1st is a special day, paying rent or it's, what I'm saying is, it's a day before. Now, it's hard to see what I see because, like I said, the other day, visually, there was 4 STM that got out with me, and then they were going to a place, and I might show you, just check for other shorts where I'm going to start showing you when people, and at one time even somebody was pretending, he was all dressed like either a construction guy or sometimes homeless people, and when I look at them, they go, because they know they're undercover there, keeping an eye on me, or some of them, I don't know if at some point they're going to pretend to pass by near me and attack. I don't know, because I'm always dressed that they would have to have something like really that would like show in the moment that if it goes through my clothes. Of course, they have gadgets that could go through any type of material. But when it's very thick to go through, there would be a hole, and I might feel it. And that's when things are going to get different, not police. So this is what I mean is, they are charaders. You know the Truman Show? It's in reverse. It's not one person that gets Trumanized. Yes, it is me, obviously. But I see the Truman Show. But the Truman Show is not for one person and everybody else saw him on TV and all. The real Truman Show is in reverse, or not really reverse, is multifaceted, meaning is we're all in a Truman Show. The government is connected with alien lizards that live underground, and the people that say, that show the papers that they worked for Area 51 in the military suddenly die not long after reporting that there's aliens controlling the military, which controls the elites, which controls the government. And this is my intuitive discernment, and it all turns in circles. And since they don't stop torturing me, and it looks like they're sacrificing me in public, you actually see the videos there. There is no logic. If I would have a paper, even though they wrote things about me that were nonsense, they didn't let me out of the hospital because I wasn't. You know what I mean? It was just a logical thing to do. Or there would have been lawyers protecting me. At that point, I hope. But with the new laws, you never know, because they decide what goes on interior, just like they did for the politics now. What I'm telling you, the logic. Let's forget about my things that it's a message for me and they want to naturalize it, meaning that now Montreal, because of the wars, because of terrorism, it was an attack, or it was a fight that people start using cayenne pepper in the metros, or pepper spray, whatever kind of spray. First of all, if people didn't actually see an altercation that someone sprayed it, usually pepper spray is for defense or attack, right? A bear is defense. Attack is if people are fighting or when somebody wants to bother someone, right? And some kids do it for fun. But in a public place, you know you're going to get caught. People are going to say, my God, you sprayed something. And I find that, I don't want to go into what I sense, even when I go out, that's alcohol so strong. Sometimes I go, where does it come from? And I bought even 99% alcohol, and it's something even more powerful, and it's sprayed near me. Again, those are agents. This is what I mean is, me, I am such a big target that they want to naturalize anything to make sure they get to me. Now, yesterday, I'm sure they got triggered. I don't know. I didn't know that there was a police remembrance from 30 years ago. What about the more than 30 people that got shot by police? I feel bad. That guy looks like he was innocent. And in those days, even 15 years ago, police did their job I'm not saying perfectly, but close to perfect. Now I don't know what happened to them. They all got triggered. They all got into that gang atmosphere. And I don't blame them. Fighting gangs, you become bitter. I used to see it in police. Like when they used to question us, something happened even with someone that used to go to the center where I go at 67. Police go, oh, did you see something? Because they were, somebody, I don't want to say, in a while back committed suicide. They were asking anybody. They didn't ask me personally because even then I was like, what do you want? Who cares if you're doing an investigation? I don't know nothing about someone's mental health. I mean, you know, to a certain point, everybody you talk to, or 90% of people alleged in any community center, either they have mental health or they classify them as having it. If you're poor, you have mental health whenever the police or the government or doctors decide. If you're poor, you can't have a lawyer, you have mental health. Even if you don't, like me, I have mental health problems. They wrote them down, but I know I don't. And I pass a polygraph and I dare them to explain why they're always up my arse. And this is what I mean. Going back to the pepper spray, again, I'm all over the place. I apologize. There is no way that guy, if that guy got pepper sprayed by the police, that's the first question you might say, scenarios, because they hide what they can't explain in a false Truman Matrix way. You understand where I'm going with this? Even if that is honest, the timing is too much to be honest the day before the check. And the fract that I feel like saying frack you to everyone involved in these charades, I don't believe that's real. Just like when I was in the metro 4 years ago, everybody had to leave the metro. You know how many times it happened when I took it? Almost, if I went out 3 times a week, it's the 3 times a week that I went that the metro was stopped for hours or even half an hour. But the point is, it was always stopped. And I used to record it sometimes. I'm saying it now. I don't know where those recordings went. I don't want to say what I have to do to try to find some of them. But because I wasn't as daring. But I know I put one now. There was even these STM, and I saw this guy's face. He was like really big and husky at Barrie, and he was kicking everybody out of the metro in a military way. For one guy sleeping in the middle of the tracks, get him by his ears and put him out. Why do you have to bother, my dear STM, hundreds of people or thousands of people in the metro? You guys are fucking bullshitters. I'm calling you out on it. The STM, the police chief, the security de Montreal. Now, come and see me about this event. About the pepper spray. Just like I said with that guy with the knife, that was all charaded. That guy had mental problems or was brainwashed. Since some of it they had to show when there was police chasing a guy with a knife, that was probably staged. And that guy shouldn't have been released from the hospital. That guy was either released on purpose or brainwashed by the police, but something was staged. Anything that happens that you see on the news is not natural. What are the odds that you see police chasing someone? Me, the police chases me every day. Unless I film it and show you, you don't see it. So it is always prepared with the cameras, that someone has the camera or the news has the camera. How can you be seeing now, even the people that got interviewed by that guy with the glasses, Xavier is like one of the French, and I'm not trying to ridicule the way he looks, a handsome young guy, but the point is, I'm just trying to joke at the crimes they're doing. I tell you, this is going to happen to me. I'm not sure, but it already happens that I go at the metro. I go, what the fuck is that thing? And my eyes start burning, and I smell like I feel alcohol, like a sort of alcohol, but not one that I ever smelled when I bought it. This is already what I'm reporting to you. And since now this happened, I say, if something happens to me and I pass out in the metro, and then they're going to pretend that I'm sick and they have to lock me up to evaluate me. This is what I'm afraid of, because if they come towards me, and I showed you those STM officers, I might put another one, check for it, another one, if I'm able to upload, whether it's on my data or another Wi-Fi. I don't know if they'll let me. This is what I mean is the world is already a dictatorship. You cannot see what they do in the back, the liberals. The crime is on so many scales, but I know what can we do. So that's why I'm begging people in police. I'm begging people like Fatty or people even in my building. And I don't want to say whether things are much better or much worse. If I don't report something a lot bad, is I don't know where the problem is coming from. I know that it was not normal, certain things that I lived a few days ago in my apartment. But then again, I don't know the source. But I know police is not letting go of me, because they just enjoy it. Oh, you think you're channeled to these laws and energies and your soul part, which, of course, they brainwashed us to know that we're just fragile little temporary beings that have to conform to a physical system that you have to sign to saying, yeah, maybe there is, maybe there isn't God. You're just a piece of biology that is a slave to the grind, and you got to do whatever we say, and maybe you'll live a couple of years. Keep slaving if you want to eat. This is the system. Even though nobody says it, this is the... Now that I don't feel that anymore, even though I'm more attacked and persecuted than the laws allow, of course, laws don't say that you're allowed torturing someone. Why am I telling you and confirming you and asking to be polygraphed when officers actually smile at me and confirm they're hurting me on purpose? Maybe not recently they haven't done that, in case I would find a way sneakily to film. You know, you never got to see that gadget when I say to the guy, why are you trying to grab my hand? And that was live with the STM. So that is proof that you saw me. It wasn't a performance. Just like when you see them all there, a million of them, and they block. It's always they have total control and they don't want to be put at risk. So why did that guy not have tears? Why did that guy not have whatever going like this? Like that guy wasn't pepper sprayed by the police or by the STM. I presume they have pepper spray. They have tasers, pepper spray, clubs, and guns. And we're not even allowed having a Nerf sword like me. They were almost telling me, get rid of the Nerf sword. Come on. So we're not allowed even using our hands to say stop and run away. You're dangerous, lock you up. So this is what I mean is, in your apartment, when you go out, you have to wait for the police, even if somebody's shooting you, beating on you. So this is where you know that they're incredible, evil lizards. That's what they are. I see it. I see all those 4 young STM. If you don't see it, that they knew they were there to bust my balls. I said, do you like me? Like they weren't like being obvious, but you have to be intuitive to sense it. Me, this report is just screaming foul play, what you saw on the news this morning. That's foul play. If 2 people are fighting and there's a pepper spray, why would it go in all the floor? You think pepper spray is that powerful? If that pepper spray is a whole metro station, then you get 20 of those bottles and you start threatening in the whatever that thing there, the conférence, the Palais des Congrès, and you fucking threatened to get $1 million. I'm gonna set off my 10 pepper sprays so everybody passes out. Come on. I saw kids. I am very sensitive, so even real pepper, if it blows from the table, is gonna irritate me. But and they know all this already. That's why I'm not. But I knew people that were spraying it in their face and they weren't passing out and resisting even, like I didn't actually see them, but some people told me, and even they filmed it on the internet. So don't tell me someone decides to argue and someone is trying, and that was an artificial something. It was not pepper spray. Pepper spray cannot go inside a person's throat and make them scratch and some people pass out when it's not done in the same metro car. It is in-fucking possible, right? So I'm daring the police to even, not on me because I'm super sensitive, even to pepper at the table, but I'm daring people from the news to show what pepper spray does. And if it's that powerful, then it should be illegal even for the police, because that means it's more dangerous than a gun. If you can make people pass out in other train cars, so I'm trying to let people know the ridiculousness. Like me, I was smelling smoke in the metro. And then as I went out, I had all the firemen not going in the metro, just going around and bugging me like... Before I had the guts to film, and I don't know if it was when I was starting to film, and my friends go, don't film, no, they're just there, you're bothering the fire. They were following me like little kids, firemen, wherever I went, ambulances. So this is what I mean is, they are criminal monsters. Again, it's not swearing, it's not insulting. What would you call a system that if you see my channel, you see how I get 20 to 50, maximum 100 views? Even now, the ones that are shorts with police and STM, they're routering so much down that no matter who tries to see my channel, it's blocked. My channel is blocked. And literally, the one when you see me filming an ambulance, I'm going to try to reroute that whenever I get a chance to get another phone. I won't even hint at how I'm going to get another phone. I try to get it from people that have it, because I know wherever I go by it, by the time I reach the store in any area that I've been before, they're gonna sabotage it. They are so evil. Again, it's in a way it's a compliment, because according to them, they don't want us to have access to because people that are meditating are obviously not the ones in the government, because they wouldn't be making laws to control us and force us to do whatever they say and just punishing us at will and pretending it's the way democracy works. That's the biggest fucking lie. Anybody that has any common sense knows we're living already in a dictatorship. Some channels, the ones I post, actually say it. We're living in a dictatorship, because we are. It's not because I want to say that. It's not because I'm scared. Obviously, I got in trouble because I'm not scared. That's the problem. At the beginning, I was a little scared. And that's why I'm saying I'm getting stronger, but my body is getting so, you don't know how much I suffered. And I don't want to start going into that because I don't want to frighten people with what they're able to do. And people are scared to be around me because if I start saying what I've lived, again, people might know what I said, where I got attacked recently. They have an idea, obviously. And there was a person there that shouldn't have been there. It could have been them, or it could have been just us, because they send agents 24/7 around me. Sometimes it's just from far. Like I say, the guy, if you notice the one with the STM, I'm going to rebroadcast one. You see the guy is all dark and his face, like you don't know who the heck he is. And he didn't react like a sleeping person. I saw, just go try it. Go try to bother someone sleeping in the metro at random that you don't feel there was a police set, like at random, not on the news or not in a metro station that I report, because it's probably going to be a person that's undercover. Me, so many times, I think I don't know if I showed it. I'm going to start showing the ones now. I might. Police, I'm sorry, police, but you keep doing all these charades. You keep threatening to hurt me physically, not just psychologically. If those STM officers wanted me to leave or wanted to laugh in my face, and I knew that they would never hurt me like that agent you sent at the club where I go, then police, I would say, you're welcome to control me, spy on me, but at least I have my health and I could be in my own intimate source, God consciousness, and I will participate in your demonic monster world, that I won't denounce it directly to crimes like this. But if you hurt me and you stop me from even being happy, even if I were accepting to be hospitalized or in a jail cell because you don't like me walking around, just because you're perverted, that's all. And because you feel that that's how you feel powerful. But you don't even leave me my health, police. So I have to report this because you inject things in me that don't make me be able to meditate and don't know if it's going to break down my immune system in time. I admit it's not going to kill me in one day, or I don't think so, but it could, because sometimes my symptoms are so horrible. I don't want to go back to them. That's why sometimes I actually show blood, or I talk about showing blood, because you guys make me suffer so much in my own apartment that I have no dwelling, like Metallica says, where I lay my head is my home. Leave me at least my body, even if you want to make me that I can't even open the windows. Police, leave me a little space. I'm not begging. Or if you want me to beg, I don't care. Just stop this conflict, because you think you're worried about an officer that died 30 years ago. You have no idea, not the power that I hold, the power that I'm starting to channel. And the fact that people have already said it in the comments, people that are really powerful, unlike you that needs weapons and personnel to hurt and torture and intimidate, we don't need anything. We just need a second, and it's done. Just like those little magic guys in those French Canadian shows that were so fun, and some of them used to go like there was weird, anyways. And they're very creative. I like a lot of Quebecois shows, and they're very spontaneous and natural. I like the Quebecois. I like the Canadian. But before it got too much, this corrupted, demonic, even with the language, the beauty about French Canadians, my dear Legault, or my dear new Frechette, I don't want to say something funny, but she seems positive and nice. I always give everybody 100%, and then they go down as they disappoint me, whether it's a important governor. Yes, they are governing us. That's the only thing I agree with. They govern us. That's it. We have nothing to say, nothing to vote. It's all fake. So if you want to impose the French language, it takes away that rebellious French nature that we all love in French Canadians, that are so spontaneous and party types, and even more free than Europe. That's what I love about my Quebecois friends, my dear Montreal police. So if you put laws that take away that, whether it's in language, whether it's how we walk and behave, sure, I don't want it either, people hurting each other or people hurting innocent people. But don't use that as an excuse that when you don't like someone, what they say or what they're discovering, the crimes that you do secretly, maybe not the police originally all the time, but the government agendas. Either don't do the agendas or expect people to figure it out. And if you're going to hurt us when we figure out that there's agendas everywhere, police, doctors, every kind of organization, even the ones that are supposed to help me now, I don't want to say anything because I just want them to not continue making up lies and trying to do any kind of funny facade, because it's like the taxes. You have a limit date, you have this date, you have to report this for the welfare, you have to report that. And it's always like they're holding a gun to you. If you see the way it's phrased, it's stupid. I've worked harder than some people that make an average of $100,000 a year. I'm sure I've worked harder While I was even young, or even when I was even sick, like 4 or 5 years ago, I was doing work projects that I probably should have been paid 40 to 75,000 a year. But I got like, that's if it would have been, obviously. It wasn't something that, it's hard to explain. I mean, the value of the work, not the value of the company. They were like very good, like I have to admit. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. But I was comparing work. You understand what I'm saying? The actual work, which government never respects that. That's how you know the system is based on the diploma you have, the people you know, the position you hold, not what actual work you do. Because the police do have a dangerous job. And if they would be doing it correctly, I would have been there, but I didn't know that they were celebrating the remembrance and the injustice. I just saw by that guy's eyes, he seemed like an honest cop, just by looking at the eyes of that guy that died. And it is mostly the innocent people, whether you're a police officer or a person, a civilian, or a person working in a difficult, dangerous job that's in construction or thing. When you're innocent, somehow destiny attracts shit, because they do have control over many energies, these perverted lizard aliens. I don't know if they're actually aliens, but the energy does exist of crime. I feel it. I feel the eyes of those officers, whether they were trained to be cold, to intimidate, to control. But the result is the same. They're trying to show me that I have to just suffer and shut up and either go in psychiatry or die, and I can't do anything about it. And they never even promised me, because when I took down my channel, it should have been less sirens, less persecution. But no, they augmented it. So it's like they're trying to tell me, yeah, well, we prefer you don't talk about it, but we're going to bother you even more, because it's, I don't know if they took it as me taking down my channel as a desperation. I don't do anything out of being desperate. If I would have been desperate, I would have stopped police reporting this 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I wouldn't have told anybody. I would have just said, well, you know, sometimes I feel police checks on me because I complained to them and I recorded. And I would have shut up after that one time or two saying it. I wouldn't have made videos and said, because I'm doing that, because that's my job, police. This is not going to last. I may not last. I may not see the day that it stops, but it doesn't change for you. It changes for me. My life is in your hands, but it's not. It's the sack that's in your hand, not my soul. My soul has never been in your control, and it never will be. And that's what bothers you, that I live in my soul. Not even that I can have no peace wherever I go in my apartment. And that's a monstrosity that's going to attract. I put a comment on a short that was probably AI that was saying, karma gets you, and sometimes it's tenfold. Yes, it is tenfold. Yes, police, you are in danger with your job. Not by me, by other people that are unstable. Whatever you're saying about me on the papers, the lies you've said in the past, Applepex, neighbors, you will attract that. It's normal. It's like me. I'm reporting this because I'm already getting punished unfairly. So I'm not saying I was perfect the way I behaved. According to your energy unbalance, you have a right to be mad at me. And I didn't know I was pissing you off just by asking for help, because it's not in the law that you're not allowed asking for help or recording. So even now, they were about to put laws even that you can't film the police, but they didn't go through. Just like the law that you could just decide who's crazy now. And in May, in a couple of days, tomorrow I may be already attacked by police and they're going to say it's another, who knows? Because you're always up to no good, police. So I am compelled to put this video, that whether you twist the laws, even the criminal laws like Bill C-63, that I don't think that's ever going to get revived, that's pre-crime. That only exists in science fiction movies, yet Canada made it real. That's how you know Carney and the Trudeau and the Liberals are doing crimes. Because if that law got passed by them, that means that's all they want is crime. So I'm fed up of criticizing. I'm just telling you, be careful in the metros, because it's probably not people that are fighting. It's probably the government doing things to stress the people, then to make laws that make them decide who they zap out of the metro. I'm going to probably be blamed for some kind of gas or something. Who knows? Because I do have one. And one time they even told me, these people on the floor, what do you have? Because I spray a bit of vinegar with some essential oils near my door. Because like I say, all these things, they're like parasites. Now, what they injected in my arm, besides it could be something even from my heart, at some point, it's something that makes me itch, some kind of weaponized parasite. There is no way through a freaking windbreaker I get two holes that I'm actually, they're like a volcano erupting. They cannot hide that, because especially if they have to go through 2 layers of clothing, they have to, that's why. Even though it's tiny, because I don't see a hole in my clothes, but they're compressed ways of attack. I don't know how they do it, the technical, I wish I could talk to them. The technology is so good, but for evil. The technology that Ashayanadine, I don't know how you pronounce it, let's say Ashadine. I want to shorten. Ashadine is amazing, and there's other people that teach, but she has a whole section on hashtag because she has some of them. The one I put, the recent one, something about her teachings, but she condensed them. She says that's the because some of the meditation is just thinking. The moment she explains it is the moment you're higher, especially if you're already sort of awakened spiritually. If someone is totally materialistic and they see the teachings of Ashadin, it still could help. And she said it. She goes, even if you don't meditate and take my course, the earth, see, she sees it. She doesn't actually say the Satya Yuga, but whether it's true or not, like Sadhguru Nath explained, or she is right, both of them could be right, because she says in a few years, was in 2000 something, 2002, she goes in 10 to 15 years, that was in 2000, which is coming now, 25, 26, it's at the latest 4 or 5 years, the world is going to start being honest and pure and true, and there's not going to be little messages like to protect people that get chosen, that get targeted by government and police. There's going to be a movement that's with the white hats. There's going to be more people. I don't know, because Pierre Poilievre is not in power for now, but the work that she's done, Jasmine Lane, is just her eyes and her integrity. She is, like, for example, Kim Everson. I would like her to be Canadian, even though she's not, but she does talk about Canada and spiritual things. She is amazing. I would have preferred Kim Everson as president than Trump, but we get Trump, and Trump trumps a lot of the lies, even though I don't agree with his methods. I would choose other methods. It doesn't matter whether you criticize him or not. And we suffer a lot in Canada, me included, because of Trump. But it unbalances the secret organized corruption. That's all I could say. That's the only thing I'm happy about Trump right now, is that it destabilizes the lies. Because as much as he's extreme and a bully, he has integrity and he has daring to face you. And he tells you when he's mad at you, just like he says about Canada. And this is why me, police, I tell you, I want to forgive you. I want to even, and in a way, I still love you. I love the Montreal Canadiens. I'm so happy they're winning. But you know that the videos that I put, you could seek the time frame when they came out, the original ones, because I may have whatever with the SIM, who knows, or the memory card. But the point is, even last year, I said, when they were already out of the finals, I said, if the Montreal Canadiens, they have the talent to win the cup. We saw yesterday, they do have the talent. I've seen it. And when they lose, you noticed it's like a negative thing that they get, not discouraged, just disorganized, or they hit the goalpost. Just like the Olympics. You saw the Olympics, what happened. They should have been in first place, both the women's team and the Canadian. That was me saying, I don't want them to win. That was me, police. I actually said it. I don't want them to win. Just to prove the point. I cannot influence physical objects or gadgets that you send my way, or if you jail me now or hurt me or kill me. That I cannot stop. See, that's how you know I'm not delusional. And I say that word, 3-letter word, yet. So, whether I'm in my body or not, you will pay for what you have done. And it's not pay like revenge. No, it's karma will make sure you get to know it was wrong. Now, are you going to be a bit like, I don't want to say extreme ways, are you going to continue hurting me knowing that I'm telling you I'm connected? Like when someone tells you on the street, I'm connected. Hey, you better believe him, especially if he seems that he has no reason to lie. Same thing like the officer. Are you sure? Meaning, are you sure you want us up your ass? If you would have said that, officer, because that's all I registered, are you sure we want us to help you? Yes, I trusted you, police. So this is the payment that I was stupid enough not to understand your subliminal message. You cannot say I subliminally warned you, police. I am declaring on the internet, just like that Dans Baton of Benny Hill, just like this sword, and just like I'm daring your bullshit that you say. What are the odds that you have motive? I recorded you. I brought Apopex to court. I made a complaint even now recently against the Montreal. What are the possibility that these marks on my body are what? How could I do them myself? If somebody tells me how I did those holes on my arm, without, and why would I, you know what I mean? It's so stupid. It's so impossible that I would do them. Yes, scratch or trying to dig out the poison. Yes, that is true. But it's only because I'm feeling sick and I don't know how to get the poison out. But I wouldn't damage my body. I'm not stupid. Unlike, I don't want to say, because I don't believe people, just like people have a self, like the Terminator, that they don't want to hurt themselves. People think it's easy committing suicide. The person is really messed up to do that or hurt someone else. So when I tell you, and when I've survived all these videos, I've never lifted a finger. If ever one day you say that I did, it's probably you that starts it and reports otherwise. I think people can pretty much be guaranteed of that. That's why I'm saying now what happened in the metro is probably a stage. But even if it isn't, I doubt it. I doubt it. It's the timing of... So this is what I mean is just like when you see officers around me, they're going to say, well, it's a coincidence. All the time they say that. And they call me crazy on top of that. And a lot of times the undercover people dressed as bums in the thing, or people cleaning that are either paid to harass me with their eyes or whatever. It's all staged. Why would the guy follow me, and why would the guy be mad when I say get away from me when the guy's cleaning? A guy that's cleaning doesn't want anybody mad at him. He doesn't want to lose his job unless he's paid to keep his job if he harasses someone. That's why I didn't show it, but I might show it short. But you're just going to see a guy cleaning near me. Oh, look how paranoid he is. Like garbage trucks. Hey, garbage trucks, people say that they cost so much that they don't even want them once a week or once every 2 weeks in some areas. I have a garbage truck following me like a little doggy. That's fucked up, man. UPS, Post Canada, that they're all having problems with whatever, especially Post. There's a truck everywhere for me. This is what people don't understand, and I've shown them. I've shown the STM truck totally far away from the metro. It was like almost a mile away from the metro. What was it doing parked? And then when I took out my camera, it left. If it was doing some kind of, what? It was a giant STM truck. What is it doing there? This is what you don't understand. The probabilities of what I'm saying is more true than not. And the probabilities that you shouldn't take this as a warning, that if you don't investigate the internal systems like MK Ultra, like that thing that talked about the strange things in the mass graves that they did. Oh my God, I don't want to get into that, of the Irish people, but there's others too. I don't know, they mentioned also the residential schools, and some people were saying that they didn't exist. This is but it's always hard to know exactly what happened. But all you could know is that government is not honest. Not the way they warn us, not the way anything they say is almost like people used to say, sometimes the government lies. No. When is it that you see a little bit of truth? Just like this guy that used to work for Apple Plus. People that sometimes they don't even get a little truth like that. It's all lies. And if I would see him now, I would say, yeah, but the government is like 99.9999999 lies, and maybe 0.00001 do people, if you do your math, you know how rare that is, that there's any truth that they say. Any. I'm not talking about there's a lot of lies. I'm talking about anything you could tell me that they've said on the news that's true, and prove it to me. I dare anybody. And take a polygraph with me. That's the thing, is everything is a fucking Matrix, Truman Show in ad infinitum, meaning it's not just one person that's living a life on camera. We're all on camera all the time. At least I am. Not everybody yet, but it's getting there. And this is what I mean is, are we going to just take this lying down? Are we going to just say, okay, that's the way it is? Every time I go out now, I have to be trying to film, trying to see if they're going to find a reason even to take my camera away and smash it on my head and lock me up, because they don't need much reason. Of course, they know that I'm not going to be swayed so easily, and I try to get away from them. But what does that change when they like now, they know they want to put the fear in me to be more alert and more nervous in the metro, that they're going to gas me in the metro. Of course, and they're going to say it's someone else that did it. It's that easy. Just like when I had marks on my body, the doctor goes, I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, go to that hospital. I could have recorded and made you hear it. Go to the Jewish. But just for that physical thing. For the psychiatric thing that I'm crazy, I'll go see him every month at least. Why would I go see him when they made it up? They should be in psychiatry saying, but why do we have to do this to this poor old sick person that asks us for help because he's dying from the environment or suffering a lot, and we want to make up that he's crazy on top of that? To punish him further and control him and lock him up? It doesn't make sense. Of course you will get sniped by God, police, and of course you're in physical danger. Yeah, not by me, of course. I want to make that point clear. And I don't even wish you harm. I wish you to stop. Is that clear, police? I know the more I say it, like little kids, they put their hand on the fire. That's what you're doing. You're putting your hand on the fire of eternity, of the highest beings in the multiverse. Truth is said. Do you trust in this truth?